Part 20. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjaya Old Thief. Chapter 191. Eternal Tower, 18th floor. Wind Fury. Spark. Thunder. Various skills were thrown from Yebai's hands, killing the newly born bloodthirsty mushrooms one by one. Dracula on the side looked slightly pale, but even so, he still did not forget to cheer for his master. There was no longer a need for him to cut open the wound to stimulate the spores of the bloodthirsty mushroom. Dracula found an easier way. He directly stuffed the spores into his wound before it healed, so that the bloodthirsty mushrooms could be constantly refreshed. Tired, destroy it. Refreshing the bloodthirsty mushroom requires a lot of blood. Even Dracula cannot create blood out of thin air and needs to be replenished. Therefore, while watching Shura spawn monsters, he had a piece of iron in his left hand and a bucket of water in his right hand. Eat a mouthful of iron and drink a bucket of water, and your body will produce blood rapidly. This is very scientific. On the 18th floor, the refreshed monsters are at the same level as the level breaker, or even higher, and can provide rich killing experience. After 2 hours of fighting, Yebai raised his level from 124 to 194. Boom! A huge bloodthirsty mushroom monster fell to the ground, unable to withstand Shura's horrific damage. But no new mushroom monster spawned. Dracula, who was chewing iron, quickly looked at his arm. The more than 20 mushroom spores planted on his arm are still there. Could it be that he has run out of blood? Tear. Dracula made a cut on himself, and red blood spilled out instantly, and he hurriedly caught it with his mouth. This is all your own blood, don't waste it. After Dracula's wounds healed, he squeezed out more than 20 mushroom spores and found that the spores had withered. Dracula asked curiously, "Why don't you buy bloodthirsty mushrooms?" Yebai had already expected it and explained casually. The remaining monsters here are enough for me to reach level 199. No more monsters will be refreshed. Only after clearing this cursed land will the source of the curse appear. After killing the opponent, the exploration level will be increased to 100%, and Yebai's 4's level clearance will be achieved. With Dracula's voluntary help, the speed of spawning monsters has obviously been greatly improved. Then, Yebai threw out a small bottle of red liquid and fell into Dracula's arms. This is. Even without opening the bottle, Dracula could recognize what was in the bottle. Blood essence and blood, from the prince's essence and blood. Can I really drink it? A trace of greed flashed in Dracula's eyes, but he suppressed it instantly. He was well aware of his situation. Being a servant, especially a dishonest servant. When the master gives a reward, it may not be a real reward, but it may be a test. The sole contract is in Shura's hands, and he is at the mercy of others. Don't think so much about it. Yebai rolled his eyes and said seriously. It's natural for you to work and get paid. In the same way, if you cheat and cheat, you must respect yourself. Do you understand? Dracula nodded wildly. I understand so well. Brother, stop talking. Besides, I have to be decent again. Opening the vial, the princely blood essence was poured directly into his mouth. Dracula ignored his aristocratic demeanor and simply swallowed the entire bottle for fear that he would waste a little bit. Anyway, he has a good appetite and can digest this little thing. There are at least 10 drops of prince-level blood essence in the vial. Dracula's pale face looked even paler, and his 4 blood-sucking fangs showed signs of protruding. As soon as they grew a little, they were smoothed away in an instant. Dracula is used to being a flat-toothed vampire, sucking blood elegantly with a straw. While his momentum surged, Dracula's level also continued to increase, and he soon passed level 400. It works well. Yebai, who was watching coldly from the side, nodded slightly. He is about to go to the abyss plane. If he is lucky, he will be back within a few days. Originally, there was nothing to worry about in Yebai's exclusive space. Dracula was already obedient. My biggest thought every day is to eat something good. Now, there is an additional demon forging master who is a fool. You can have the intention to harm the devil, but you cannot have the intention to protect yourself from the devil. When Yebai is not at home, he needs at least some defense capabilities at home. Although he doesn't want to admit it, Dracula is Yebai's only choice. Dracula, who had recovered a little strength, knelt down on one knee facing Yebai, put his right hand on his left shoulder, and looked serious. Your kindness will always be remembered in my heart. In terms of acting, he has always been perfect. Don't treat these weak things. I can use blood essence to restore your strength. Naturally, I can take it away at any time. Yebai asked, how much blood essence is needed to restore to level 600, the strength of a war king? Dracula himself was of a very high rank, and was among the top among the princes. It's a pity that some of the people he met back then were too unfaithful, ignorant of martial ethics, and unreasonable. Only then did we end up in the miserable state we are in today. Dracula said without hesitation, 100 drops. Eye of Insight announced the correct answer, 40 drops. Still dishonest. Yebai shook his head and threw out 4 vials of prince-level blood essence. This is your reward for the next period of time. I will leave for a while and take care of my home until I come back. If things are business as usual at home, you might even be able to move forward a step further. Clear. Dracula took advantage of the situation and said swornly. If there is trouble at home, I will eat as much blood as I will spit out. Don't worry, we are all civilized people. When the time comes, just stand still and let me chop you. Yebai said sincerely, I will only chop it once. Do what you say, never do too many tricks. The corners of Dracula's mouth twitched, and the red thunder and lightning seemed to be replayed in his pupils, causing every cell in him to tremble and tremble. If he was hacked, it would be better to let him die. You call this kind of crazy behavior civilized? After taking down Dracula in a few minutes, Yebai turned his attention back to spawning monsters. On the other side of your cursed land, drive all the mushroom monsters over. Follow your wishes. Dracula bowed slightly and turned into countless blood bats and flew into the sky. Soon, the sound of mushroom monsters running was heard from the other end of the cursed land. Wind Fury. Spark. Yebai first lit a fire at the edge of the cursed land. After Feng Fury's CD was healed, Yebai released Feng Fury again. Then he began to chant. The Angry Sea. Chanting the raging sea for 60 seconds can summon 120 layers of waves. With the blessing of Wind Fury, it will stack up to 360 layers. In previous battles, Yebai had accumulated enough rage points many times, and all of them were added to water skill damage, adding an additional 5% to the damage. Every minute that passes means 60 seconds have passed. Yebai also happened to finish singing. Wow! A wave of water rushed forward and hit the mushroom monster, causing considerable damage. Before they could react, more waves came. No, it shouldn't be called Langshui. Behind Yebai, a sea rushed up. Brush. Above the angry sea, sparks of fire are still spreading wildly, and countless mushroom monsters are buried in the fire and sea. On the sea of fire, the bloody bat, which had returned to the Duke's strength, waved its wings and looked coldly at the defeat of the mushroom monster. Although bats are warm-blooded animals. But at this moment, Dracula's blood was cold. He knew very well the source of all this, his kind master, the incarnation of the demon lord, the benevolent insulator, and the civilized Shura. The longer he spent time with Shura, the more Dracula understood a truth. Even if you are a pig, don't be Shura's enemy. Treat the enemy with thunderous means. Boom. It's thundering. The bat shook violently, regained its human form, and stood in the angry sea. In Dracula's shocked pupils, the scene of what had just happened remained, and it could not dissipate for a long time. The moment all the mushroom monsters died, a powerful level 198 boss descended, gathering all the power of this cursed land. At the same level, Dracula would also find it an extremely troublesome monster. The moment it came, the red thunder fell. Under the thunder, no one survived. Only ashes were left in place as proof that it had been in this world. No matter how many times I watch it, I will always be shocked by the thunder. This feeling cannot be expressed in words. After coming back to his senses, Dracula looked into the distance. Under the thunder and above the angry sea, the only figure standing, Shura. Dracula slowly leaned forward, his eyelids lowered, his face full of submission. A drop of blood dripped from his eyebrows, disappeared into the angry sea, and disappeared. The angry sea was stained with a layer of reddish color, like a drunk girl. Humble devotion to you. Dracula, who was kneeling in the angry sea, said softly. My master. Lord Shura. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjai Old Thief. Chapter 192. The angry sea dyed red changed slightly. Yabai didn't go to see Dracula and knew it was this guy who did it. Whether showing loyalty or trying to get close, Yabai's attitude towards Dracula remains the same. Work honestly and get paid with peace of mind. The raging sea has added an effect. Yabai clicked on the skill introduction and found an extra line. When using raging sea to cause damage, 5% of the life-draining effect will be obtained. When the blood volume overflows, 50% of the healing effect will be converted into shield value, which lasts for 10 minutes. It is equivalent to Raging Sea with its own Blood Feast gem effect. While the Blood Feast gem sucks blood, it will also convert the overflowing treatment into a shield value, up to tens of billions. Since Yabai had previously enchanted Power of Nature with the essence and blood of the Vampire Prince, it has a life-draining effect of up to 80% and can be cast 1,000,000 times. So far, it has not exceeded 50,000 casts, and it is far from being used up. Looking at Nu Hai's introduction, Yabai fell into deep thought. If it is a blood-sucking effect attached to equipment or status, can it be converted into shield value? If you can, that's really good. Unfortunately, all the monsters in the cursed land were killed by Yabai. Oh, and there's a walking target. Dracula, come here. Yabai waved to the vampire in the distance with a kind smile. Come closer and I'll test the effect of the skill. Dracula. He suddenly regretted it. I spent a huge price to help Shura increase the effect of his skills. As a result, he was forced to be a test subject for his skills. What the hell is this? Dracula swore that if he took the initiative to help Shura again, he would become a pig for 100 years. Just as Dracula was slowly walking forward, Shura's voice came again. 10 drops of the prince's essence and blood. The bat's small wings behind Dracula lit up and flew forward, accompanied by a joyful cry. I'm coming. Woohoo, take off. When Dracula, covered in water, appeared in the ancient city, everyone in the city was not surprised. Nothing that happens to this vampire is surprising. The experimental results of the skills were very good, and Yabai was very satisfied. When Yabai was happy, he praised Dracula more. Yabai has always been generous with this kind of free stuff. When releasing Raging Sea, 50% of all life-draining effects created by the Raging Sea will be converted into shields after overflowing. In other words, 80% of the absorption effect of the Power of Nature, plus 5% of the Angry Sea, totals 85% of the life absorption. When Yabai releases Raging Sea at full health, he can obtain a shield value equivalent to 42.5% of the damage value. This value is very impressive. It is enough to make up for the shortcomings of long-term chanting of Raging Sea, and also gives Yebai one more way to save his life. The enhancement of Raging Sea was an unexpected surprise, and Yebai did not forget the main purpose of his trip, to clear the Four's level. The curse has been lifted. Looking at the clan leader who came over, Yebai said seriously. That land will be at peace forever. Shura's physical exorcism is professional and trustworthy. The source of the curse was so powerful that not even the dregs were left. Thank you so much. The patriarch was waving his hands in the air, so excited that he didn't know what to say. Son of Destiny, you have proven your friendship with the Mogu tribe with your actions. Can you take out the Mogu hat? You deserve a new blessing. Yebai took out the Mogu hat and handed it to the other party. The clan leader held it in his palm, climbed up the statue made for Yebai, and placed the Mogu hat on the statue. A white light flashed, and the Mogu hat was blessed and strengthened. Yebai had a feeling of add 14 success. The Mogu hat returned to Yebai's hands. Its appearance remained unchanged, but its attributes were completely changed. Equipment, Mogu hat, leave 200. Grade, SS level. Attributes, Intelligence add 3000. Ability power, 3400. Entry. Mushroom, stand still for 5 seconds and it will transform into a mushroom. It will return to its original shape after being attacked. Mushroom lover, when using mushrooms, the effect is add 200%. Red rod, when using wood spells to cause damage, it will cause 100% additional damage. White rod, when using wood spells to heal, it will cause 100% additional damage. Mast pole, when using wood spells to generate debuff, the effect is add 100%. Lying board, after killing the enemy by wearing the Mogu hat, a hidden poisonous mushroom will be created on the spot. It will explode after being stepped on, causing cumulative damage to the enemy in the next 5 seconds, 3000 add 5 ability power add 2 intelligence, wood damage. Yebai has not studied the wood element for the time being, and the other entries are not of much use to him. On the contrary, the new lying board is very powerful in actual combat. Lying board itself can superimpose the damage bonus of red rod, and the damage of a single poisonous mushroom is not low. At the same time, the kill determination of Labanban should also be triggered by creatures such as fire ants. This also means that Yebai has arranged to extinguish the fire ants in advance, and while using spark fire to superimpose spark mark, he can also plant a large number of poisonous mushrooms in place. The only regret is that, as SS level equipment, the hat of mushrooms is only level 200. Yebai went to the abyss plane to use it this time, and it was just right. After Yebai's level increases, Mogu's hat will be eliminated. Level 200 SS level equipment is definitely not as useful as level 300 SS level equipment. On the premise of the same quality, Yebai equipped himself with higher level equipment as much as possible. But the Mogu hat suited Yebai very well, which made him particularly reluctant to part with it. After all, who can resist the joy of standing still and pretending to be a mushroom for seconds? Yebai secretly thought. I have to think of a way to ask the fool to help me strengthen my hat. As a blacksmith master who can create SSS level equipment, this kind of thing can indeed be done. Only, Master Fool has always insisted on helping Yebai build only one piece of SSS level equipment, acting like a businessman. Yebai believed that if she stayed in her exclusive space for a while, she would eventually figure it out. The sheep stay at home, but they still worry about not being able to get wool? Joke. No sheep can leave Shura's exclusive space with its wool. It's just a matter of time. Putting away Mogu's hat, Yebai bid farewell to the Mogu clan leader. Mobike can stay here temporarily, and when he wants to leave, he can return to Shura's exclusive space at any time. The cursed land was cleared, and a new city was built for the Mogu tribe at the same time. Both things were accomplished to the extreme. Current exploration level, 100%. After sending everyone else back to their exclusive space, Yebai summoned the Eternal Core Crystal. Settlement. Setting up customs clearance scores. The next second, the humans in the Eternal Tower received the announcement they were accustomed to. Congratulations to player Shura SSSS for clearing the 18th floor. Today is another day for Shura to brush up the 4's rating. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjaya Old Thief. Chapter 193. The player Shura SSSS clears the 18th floor and is rewarded with the human buff Bloodthirsty Curse in the Eternal Tower. Limited time buff Big Wood Forest. The effect of human wood props, skills, and scrolls in the Eternal Tower is add 30%, limited to 6 hours. Limited time buff As high as you are, the Eternal Tower human race will cause 25% extra damage to creatures taller than itself, limited to 6 hours. Limited time buff Hee, you are so short, the Eternal Tower human race will cause 150% extra damage to creatures shorter than itself, limited to 6 hours. Bloodthirsty Curse, when causing damage, gain 30% life-stealing effect. At the same time, all surrounding monsters gain 15% life-stealing effect, limited to 6 hours. After the server-wide reward announcement was finished, Yebai looked at it and shook his head. It's still the same double standards as always. Hee, you are so short. This buff can increase extra damage by 150%. Although it was only 6 hours, it was enough. If Yebai wants to complete his job transfer tonight, he cannot do without the help of this buff. Complete the 18th floor with an SSSS grade score and get the reward Bloodthirsty Seed *3. Bloodthirsty Seed, SSS level material, which can be used to inlay and forge on equipment to obtain a certain degree of life-stealing effect and other special effects. 3 SSS level materials, as a personal reward, are a bit too stingy. Yebai didn't have time to inlay or forge it for the time being, so he could only put it aside and deal with it later. After returning to the Eternal Core City, Yebai did not immediately return to the Eternal Tower to continue passing the level. He first sent a message to the Goblin Brother, asking him to list the potions and mushrooms that can increase the size and height, and prepare the goods. The one with no side effects. Yebai doesn't need medicines like blood pressure lowering yet. After sending the message, Yebai clicked on the Personal Properties panel. Eternal ID, Shura. Talent, Eye of Insight, SSS level. Level, 199. Occupation, Wrath Mage, Wind, Fire, Thunder, Wrath Sea Mage, Water. HP, 468400/468400. MP 103680/10368000. Strength, 5893, add 7350. Intelligence, 12238, add 2360. Spirit, 11679, add 1740. Agility, 3576, add 6871. Physique, 3405, add 6710. Luck, 12. Equipment, Power of Nature, add 4, Nightmare Wind, Heavenly King Sword, add 1, etc. Skills, Raging Sea, Wind Fury, Ready to Go, etc. Status, Raging Sea Fighter, hee, you are so short, Immortality, etc. Due to the existence of dual professions, when Yebai raised his level to level 199, all attributes increased significantly. However, since the Force of Nature is still a level 60 staff, it provides lower intelligence and spiritual bonuses. At the same time, The Mogu hat must be worn at level 200, and Yabai cannot use it yet. The high bonuses to the three attributes of strength, agility, and constitution mainly come from equipment such as Nightmare Wind and Heavenly King Sword. The five-dimensional basic attributes have exceeded 10,000, which greatly improved Yabai's various abilities. Except for output capabilities. His output has already been maxed out. Putting away the attribute panel, while the Goblin brother was preparing the goods, Yabai did not waste time and made a special trip to the wolf lair to find Xuemeng. In the office, Xuemeng was hitting the tortoise with a sledgehammer. Yabai pushed open the door and walked in. "Are you busy?" Putting down the hammer in his hand, Xuemeng sweated and said helplessly. "Only 1/3 of this bastard is mine, so I can take whatever I can get." Obviously, Xuemeng couldn't take any of it away. At this time, the importance of the adoptive father becomes apparent. If Xuemeng could have 3 powerful adoptive fathers, would he still need to worry about such a trivial matter? Yabai was on the side making suggestions. "You have to shout slogans when you smash, so that you have the strength to work." Xuemeng was puzzled. What slogan? At his level, he is only 1 step away from the god of war, and it is difficult for anything to touch his soul. Relying on shouting slogans to increase motivation? Xuemeng didn't believe it. Yabai said slowly. "You shout 80, 80. Every time you swing the hammer, you will think that you have hit 80 God of War merit points on this bastard. It's hard, Xuemeng's hammer is hard." Thinking of the sky-high bills he owed, he instantly felt his blood pressure soar, wishing that Bang Bang would give Shura a hammer first. "Shouldn't you be busy rushing to pass the level? Why are you here at the wolf's lair?" Xuemeng was alert and said quickly, "No one is treating me today." "Look at what you said, you're looking down on me, aren't you?" Yabai pointed to the top of his head and lowered his voice and said. "Do me a favor and bring a message to that person." That one, of course, refers to the deep otaku in the Eternal Tower, Master Ju's good student, Xiaoao. Xuemeng became even more interested. "What are you talking about?" Shura took the initiative to find Xiaoao, which is a strange thing. Is he not ready to be a man anymore? "I will go to the 19th floor soon and enter the secret realm of the third job transfer," Yabai said seriously. "When I clear 4s, can I delay the release of server-wide rewards and announcements?" Hiss. Xuemeng took a breath of cold air, a little unbelievable. "Can something like this be done?" "Give it a try, it won't hurt after all." Yabai's purpose in doing things has always been to hit 3 poles if there are no dates. Xiaoao has very high authority in the Eternal Tower. On the one hand, it comes from his own high level and high level numbers. On the other hand, it is Xiaoao's secret. Even Master Ju only has some guesses and is not sure of the answer. Yabai is bound to win the third job transfer tonight. The problem is that every time Yabai completes his job transfer, there will be a server-wide announcement. Sometimes some of his trump cards are exposed, which makes him very distressed. Can you still be a good person? For example, when he changed jobs for the second time, Shura secretly made up lessons and learned the wind element, and his secret was exposed. After today, Shura will enter the abyss with his team, and this trip will be extremely dangerous. The Abyss Demon clan is always paying attention to Shura's movements. Although the demonic sex vitality was severely damaged, this server-wide announcement could not be concealed. If the server-wide rewards can be postponed, Yabai can also hide more trump cards and give the monsters a big surprise. Only Xiaoao can do such a thing. Xuemeng hugged Bastard and left the wolf den, and ran back a few minutes later with a happy face. The strange old man said that it can only be postponed for 10 years at most, so that you can leave early and come back early. Yabai. Damn it, let him pretend again. After solving his worries, Yabai took the medicine purchased from Weavue Pavilion and left in a hurry. And from deep in the wolf den, rhythmic shouting came. 80. 80. The more Schwemmeng hit, the harder he got. Although the smashing doesn't produce any effect, it is fun. Just feel good and that's it. The fourth Demon King, kill me, now. I wish you can clear the Eternal Tower as soon as possible. A white light flashed, and Yabai appeared on the 19th floor of the Eternal Tower. The third job transfer to the Secret Realm. It is different from the previous job transfer Secret Realm. The third turn is also regarded as the threshold of the watershed of strength. General warriors need to be level 200. This is because after the third transformation, all attributes will be greatly improved. At the same time, clearing levels with a high score can also bring various benefits. For example, second career template advancement, obtaining a new series on the existing career template, etc. However, the rules in the Eternal Tower are always fair. The more benefits, the higher the difficulty. There is only one thing you need to do to clear the Secret Realm for the third time: fight the boss. At the same time as Yabai appeared, the entire Secret Realm of job transfer began to shake violently, and white bones flew past his eyes. Roar! A huge bone snake appeared in front of Yabai, its body suspended in mid-air. Before Yabai could attack, another head emerged from beside the bone snake. A two-headed snake, and every time it is resurrected after being killed, it will have an extra head. Roar! Why are you shouting so loudly? Yabai was indignant. Isn't it amazing that you have so many heads? Mistress, come on. Hell's three-headed dog. In such a big scene, don't make things difficult for me, a level 108 bitch, right? Boom. A thunder struck down, and the bone snake turned into ashes and was reborn again. Watching the battle between the master and the boss, the three-headed hell dog and the black tiger were marvelous. Hell's three-headed dog, why do I have the illusion that my master is the boss? Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjai Old Thief. Chapter 194. Eternal Tower, 19th floor. The battle continues. Or it shouldn't be called a battle, but a unilateral crushing. While possessing super high damage, Yabai can obtain massive shield value by sucking blood. With the help of life-saving means such as Thunder Spirit Etherization, the safety factor is infinitely close to 100%. Before entering this level, Yabai checked the boss's information and made corresponding preparations. The bone snake is like the legendary Hydra. Its heads will continue to regenerate. The more it fights, the stronger it becomes. When each head is born, it has a short period of invincibility. At the same time, the bone snake head will have corresponding elemental systems and powerful buffs, and a fixed killing order. If they are not killed in order, the other snake heads will enter the invincible state. They will wait for the crushed snake heads to regroup before the invincibility will be lifted and they will enter a new battle. For other players, finding the order of killing is a very difficult thing. Eye of insight, difficult to do. If it's difficult to do, don't do it. In the past 10 minutes, Yabai defeated the boss twice, and the bone snake he faced now had 4 heads. The element system corresponding to these 4 snake heads happens to be thunder, fire, and feng shui. The moment the snake head corresponding to the water element was born, a blue light flashed across his body and he received the blessing of the Poseidon. Obviously, Poseidon would not just watch Yabai successfully pass the level. If Yabai defeats the boss in front of him again, he can accumulate 60% exploration degree and can clear the level at any time. However, the rewards obtained in this way are also the worst. Even with the superposition of Perfect Realm and Eternal Blessing, Yabai couldn't accept it. If you don't get a 4's rating, will you still be Ashura? Especially in the Secret Realm of Job Transfer, a place that is extremely important for the development of personal strength. Yabai must be worthy of his title of Tongtiande. Focusing his attention, Yabai could see the rewards for passing each level. S level clearance, Own basic attributes add 50%, improve the level of professional templates or add a series. SS level clearance, own basic attributes add 100%, improve the level of professional templates or add a first or second profession. SSS level clearance, own basic attributes add 200%, luck add 1, improve the level of professional templates, add a series, and obtain a second profession. At this level, the further back you go, the harder it is to gain exploration. A snakehead that has been killed and resurrected will not continue to provide exploration points if killed again. At the same time, the exploration degree provided by the new snakehead shows a decreasing trend. According to previous clearance experience, if you want to clear the SSS level, you must at least kill the Hydra. In the past 100 years of history, no more than 20 people in the human race have been able to pass the SSS level. Don't forget, Yabai still has eternal blessings on him. The reward for clearing the 4's level will only be higher than the SSS level. There is one more thing to note. In front of Yabai, the 4-headed bone snake fell down again, unable to fight back. The series corresponding to the snakehead is very important. While waiting for the boss to resurrect, Yabai looked at the newly condensed snake head. The 5th head earth element. The earth yellow armor covers the entire frame, and the entire head is extremely round, like a shit yellow round monster. After completing the third job transfer with a high score, players will have the opportunity to obtain a new series of abilities, and the element series they choose comes from the boss itself. In other words, the more heads the bone snake creates, the wider Yabai's choices will be. The order of killing this time should start with the earth element and high physical defense. Yabai drew out the Heavenly King sword and chopped off the snake's head. The round shit yellow monster was flattened by his sword and turned into a slightly square oval shit yellow monster. In short, it's just ugly. Yabai kept doing it and killed this ugly thing quickly to save himself from being upset. You ugly thing, die. With the assistance of Eye of Insight and its own powerful output, various methods have been prepared. Due to the superposition of various factors, the boss was unable to fight back in front of Yabai, and it was only a matter of time before he was killed repeatedly. 5-headed snake, 6-headed snake, 7-headed snake. Time passes minute by minute. There is still 1 hour and 44 minutes until 6:10. In front of Yabai, the Hydra collapsed to the ground, and the last snakehead was ruthlessly killed, waiting for its next resurrection. In addition to the previous 5 series, there are 4 more series corresponding to snakeheads. Ice, Bone, Lightning, Charm. To put it in a nutshell, none of them are good. Things like Ice element and Lightning element do not belong to the major elements, but are mutations in a certain direction. It will be particularly outstanding in some aspects, and it will also have its own shortcomings. Take Lightning System as an example. The 5 lightning whips that Yabai once learned is actually one of the signature skills of the Lightning department. Lightning System, the most outstanding part. Quick Film department. Among the special systems, Yabai has no resistance to the space system, soul system, and killing system. I want to secretly learn the shadow system and then amaze all the shadows, especially Master Ju. Bone system and earth system. Unfortunately, what I met was Yabai, who had the Eye of Insight. As for charm, unless, it smells so good. Yabai pursed his lips slightly, his eyes shining. Yabai's spirit perked up, his hand holding the sword tightened a little, and the blood in his body boiled uncontrollably. No one will ever hold a knife to my neck again. I will still be that unruly boy. Current exploration degree, 99.99%. The only thing Yabai can really consider is 9 heads, excluding 4 of Yabai's existing series, and then excluding 3 options. The upper limit of this level of boss is not 9 heads. If you continue to kill it, new heads will be born. Among the basic element systems, Yabai is more inclined to the wood system. Earth element, as a basic element, is very strong. It's just that the shit yellow monster was unacceptable to Yabai. It was too ugly. The moment the 10th snake head appeared, there was no roar or any movement. It would be difficult to even detect the presence of the other person if you don't pay attention. The use of the bone system is too restrictive, and it doesn't match Yabai's profession. He prefers to kill people and raise ashes. However, out of the need to hide his identity, Yabai wears a mask all year round, preferring to convince people with his thunder instead of relying on his face to make a living. After the Hydra fell, it obviously took longer to resurrect than before. Bone. Non-existent. This is good. The only thing Yabai can do is to kill the opponent a few more times to see if the other snake heads are better. However, the refresh of the snake head is random. It's well disguised. On this basis, there was absolutely no need for Yabai to choose this mutant line as his development direction. The movement speed is fast, the hitting speed is fast, the output frequency is fast, and the loss is fast. Yabai was not very satisfied with these two choices. In terms of appearance, Yabai obviously fits 100% and will not accept any doubts. Thunder system can learn all the skills of lightning system, but lightning system cannot fully learn the skills of thunder system. The 10th head shadow system. Hidden under the huge shadow of the snake's body, the 10th snake head is waiting for an opportunity, ready to deliver a fatal blow to the enemy at any time. If you can take the broad road, don't take the narrow path. Yabai wanted to see if there was any better choice. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjai Old Thief. Chapter 195. Eternal Tower, 19th floor. Thunder. Wins infinite distance. Under Yabai's output, the 10-headed snake could not hold on for long and was reduced to ashes. Current exploration degree, 99.999%. Yabai glanced at it and found that it had not yet reached 100% exploration level. It should be because of Poseidon's projection. The Poseidon projection has been reluctant to come, and I'm afraid it's still waiting. Because of the existence of the second profession, if Yabai does not defeat the Poseidon projection, he will not be able to reach 100% exploration. Within the limits allowed by the rules of the Eternal Tower, Poseidon will delay the arrival of his own projection as much as possible. As long as it doesn't come, Shura will not be defeated. The card bug has finally been solved. Poseidon's projection must arrive before 5:55. Only 15 minutes of fighting time. Yabai frowned slightly, feeling that the situation was not good. After 15 minutes, the other party is still prepared and will definitely show no moral integrity. Of course, if Yabai is replaced by Poseidon, he will only go too far. In other words, the Poseidon projection that comes in the last 15 minutes may have multiple buffs and shields. The situation has become clear. What Poseidon wants is nothing more than the word go. Go, only give Yabai 15 minutes to fight. Go, you will never take the initiative in a battle, but try to extend your life as much as possible and try to survive for 15 minutes. Yabai is very familiar with this word. The projection of Poseidon, who was supposed to be the boss, tried every possible means to survive. As for Shura, the player who broke through the level, he was like a boss, with all kinds of cruel output methods emerging one after another. The roles have been reversed and it belongs to Yes. We have to think of some way to deal with it. Yabai couldn't bear it when faced with such a buggy person, so he directly punched him hard. Start taking inventory of your arsenal to see if there is any means that can solve the Poseidon projection within 15 minutes. Ready to strike with thunder. No, Poseidon will most likely only take water damage, or get a lightning immunity. If it could be solved so easily, the other party wouldn't have been dragging it out until the last 15 minutes. Raging Sea, Nightmare Wind, Black Heart skills. After careful calculation, Yabai found that his advantage was quite large, close to 100%. there is a 5% chance of triggering the black heart effect when casting the spell. There are 4 types of black heart effects, which appear randomly. 1. The effect of the enemy's next healing skill is converted into damage. 2. The enemy's next damaging skill will change its effect to healing. 3. The next physical damage taken by the enemy is converted into magic damage. 4. The next magic damage taken by the enemy is converted into physical damage. At the same time, Yebai discovered, with the blessing of always hit, when the superposition reaches the 100th time, probability events will become inevitable. In other words, Yebai's 100th magic attack will definitely trigger terms such as Black Heart Effect and Thunderstorm. Another little bug trick. Yebai silently calculated in his heart that the water system was proficient in healing, and Poseidon was no exception. According to the current situation, if the other party is focused on surviving, it will definitely cure layman. In the Black Heart Effect, no matter whether any of 1.3.4 is triggered, Yebai will earn blood. After taking stock of his own advantages, Yebai looked at the 12-headed bone snake boss. The opponent's body was huge and resurrected from the ashes, overlooking Yebai. Yebai did not forget that you are so short can cause 150% extra damage to creatures shorter than himself. How to use this buff depends on Yebai's on-the-spot performance. Fortunately, I have prepared enough things. While Yebai was waiting for the Poseidon's projection to arrive, he quietly arranged his backup plan. Give Poseidon projection a big surprise. Time passed by minute by minute. There are more and more heads in the bone snake, and the size is getting bigger and bigger. It has exceeded 1,000 feet and is still getting bigger. Compared with the giant bone snake that was thousands of meters tall, Yebai was as small as a box of matches. Finally, with Yebai's unremitting efforts, the bone snake boss has successfully evolved to 18 heads. This is also known to be the boss with the most heads in the history of human race clearance. Countdown to the arrival of Poseidon, 100 seconds. You still have time. Looking at the 18-headed bone snake, Yebai used up the remaining potions in his hand. His own body did not change at all, but the body of the bone snake grew bigger again. Countdown 3,2,1. Stuck in the last second, the entire secret realm of job transfer was violently turbulent, and a mysterious force fell from the sky. As if the air was rendered blue, countless roaring waves rang in Yebai's ears, and a vast ocean seemed to appear in front of his eyes. The smell of the sea. And in the blue light, the Bai's hang body slowly condensed, majestic, with a blurred face. The muscles on the body were like being chopped with knives and axes, full of explosive visual impact, and the movements of his hands and feet seemed to have the power to shake the world. Such a handsome appearance. It's hard to imagine that this is a buggy thing. Yebai waited for Poseidon for more than an hour. He didn't mind if he waited a few more seconds. The Poseidon projection slowly spoke. Mortals who dare to provoke gods will surely suffer divine punishment. As he spoke, a blue lightning struck down first, hitting Yebai accurately. Although the blue lightning did not cause any harm to Yebai. But the Poseidon's curse on Yebai's body is super doubled. In the next 15 minutes, Yebai will not be able to gain anger points, let alone trigger Raging Sea Fighter. Not a big problem. Yebai, who had stacked the buffs early, anticipated the opponent's prediction. The Poseidon projection with a body of 100 feet looked down at Yebai and snorted with disdain. Such a tiny creature dares to provoke the gods. Poseidon's body solidified little by little and did not continue to expand. Seeing this, Poseidon felt that the Bai's hang projection was enough to deal with Shura. As a being who is familiar with eternal rules, Poseidon naturally knows that Shura has the existence of you are so short buff. In order to avoid the extra 150% damage, Poseidon deliberately spent part of his projection power to condense his body into 100 feet. Bai's hang is already very safe. Spending more projection power to get bigger will actually weaken the Poseidon projection. If you want to survive 15 minutes, every ounce of strength must not be wasted. After watching the battle for more than 2 hours, Poseidon has calculated every possibility and clearly seen most of Shura's trump cards. As long as you are so short is not triggered, Poseidon is more than 50% sure that his projection will last for 15 minutes. Shura can't even think about passing this level. Those who dare to embark on the road of killing gods will surely fall on the road of killing gods. No matter what, Poseidon will not allow Shura to pass the level with 100% exploration. For the first minute, Yebai had been silently watching the operation of the Poseidon projection show. Until, the moment when the opponent's body shape is fixed. It's now. A black light flew out of Yebai's palm, and a bottle of medicine flew forward at an extremely fast speed. The Poseidon projection subconsciously dodged and easily avoided the black light. Shura, you don't think that something of this level can hit the great Poseidon? Hamang didn't turn a corner, but ran straight into the 18 skull snake. Yebai's target was not the Poseidon projection, but the even bigger bone snake boss. The next moment, a bottle of red potion also appeared in Yebai's hand, and he drank it in one gulp. SS level special potion, 2-level reversal. Effect: after the potion takes effect, the bodies of both parties taking the potion will be swapped. Effective time, 10 minutes. After entering the secret realm of job transfer, Yebai fed all the size-increasing potions he carried to the bone snake boss, causing the opponent's size to increase again and again. For this moment. In an instant, the bone snake shrank to 1.8 meters, like a small toy, with 18 heads crowded together, and it was unclear what was going on. And Shura's size suddenly increased to several thousand feet. In front of Shura, who is thousands of feet tall, Poseidon is as small as a bean sprout. Yebai spoke slowly, and his voice spread throughout the secret realm of job transfer, resounding throughout the world. Now, who is the insignificant existence? With the deafening sound, Yebai stepped down lightly. The shadow instantly enveloped the entire sky projected by Poseidon, leaving only fear and the wail of the soul. No. From this moment on, Shura is the heaven here. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjaya Old Thief. Chapter 196. Eternal Tower, 19th floor. In any case, the decisive battle is 3,000 feet against 100 feet, and Yebai has the advantage. Thunder. The red lightning fell, but was blocked by a light blue barrier. Failed to penetrate the enemy barrier. Diverting trouble to the east. The trident in Poseidon's hand emitted a soft light, protecting himself. Obviously, this is not true lightning immunity. But, it's true that the disaster is diverted to the east. The red lightning rushed through the water flow and hit the 18 skull snake along the water flow. Boom. In an instant, 7 of the 18 heads were shattered, which was extremely miserable. Putting aside the original boss of this level, the 18 skull snake. On the real battlefield, the two sides fought fiercely. Shura mainly attacks and Poseidon mainly defends. Before the fight, Poseidon projection only knew that Shura was difficult to deal with. What Poseidon never expected was that after actually confronting the enemy, the pressure would be far beyond imagination. Only when facing Shura directly can you feel this suffocating sense of oppression. There is no possibility of error. Any mistake will be instantly caught by Shura, and will continue to expand, accumulating advantages like a snowball, and eventually turn into a fatal blow. Worse, the Poseidon projection was wrong from the start. Poseidon did not expect that Shura could rely on 2-level reversal to have an exaggerated body of 3,000 feet, thereby activating you are so short and gain 150% extra damage. In fact, even if Poseidon thought of it, there was no better way to reverse the situation. At this level, the projection power that Poseidon can mobilize is limited. Otherwise, when the real god of the sea comes, a wave of water can kill the current Shura, so there is no need to go to such trouble. Under the premise of limited projection power, if Poseidon forcibly adjusts his body to more than 3,000 feet, too much projection power will be consumed, and it will be easier for Shura to kill him. In other words, after comprehensively considering all possible situations, maintaining the projection at 100-foot size is the best solution Poseidon can make. Poseidon has done everything he can. However, Poseidon met Shura. One wrong step. Nowadays, Poseidon projection, who is at a disadvantage, must constantly use his life-saving skills at the bottom of the box in order to survive Shura's stormy attacks. When the shield value carried by Advent was broken down, the Poseidon projection roared. Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier, obtain 10 points of special shield, immune to damage of less than 10 million. When sustaining damage of more than 10 million, the special shield will be -1 point. The snowflake-like barrier was shattered before it was fully deployed. Ice Barrier. The skill is not an exaggeration to call it a life-saving skill. Unfortunately, he couldn't last more than 3 seconds in front of Shura. The opponent's output ability is not at level 200 at all. The output capabilities of the peak warriors, no, the war kings, are not as good as Shura. At level 199, he has an output efficiency comparable to that of the god of war. Poseidon suddenly felt that he didn't have long to live. Thousand Waves Phantom. Thousands of phantoms appear, true and false, false and false. If the main body is not found in time, the Poseidon projection's health and shield value will increase rapidly. Shura's blow missed and hit the phantom. Poseidon projection was delighted, there was something going on. Soon, Shura's fourth attack found the real Poseidon projection and caused considerable damage to the Poseidon projection. But everything that just happened made Poseidon projection full of hope. Poseidon has found a way to victory. Shura can't tell whether the phantom is true or false. The reason why he found the true form so quickly this time is just because of good luck. Poseidon thought so. Therefore, in the face of various life-saving means, Poseidon once again chose Thousand Waves Phantom, and even increased the stakes and invested more power. Phantom of 10,000 waves? This almost desperate method, once successful, can completely restore the Poseidon projection and even double the upper limit of blood volume. He bet that Shura couldn't find his own body within 3 seconds. Pity. He lost. Thunder. Without any hesitation, Shura's staff pointed directly at the body of Poseidon's projection, hitting it accurately among 10,000 identical phantoms. How can it be? The main body was severely injured, and all other phantoms dissipated instantly, disappearing like bubbles in the sun. The Poseidon projection spurted out a mouthful of blood, and its body continued to shrink, unable to maintain its size of 100 feet. His eyes were full of disbelief. This insidious guy can be found the first time he has been acting. Poseidon never expected it. Even if he has the upper hand, Shura will still act when it's time to act when facing the enemy, and he will never show mercy. For the first time, Poseidon projection uses Thousand Waves Phantom. Shura clearly knew which one was the real body, but deliberately hit it wrongly, causing Poseidon to relax his vigilance. When the Poseidon projection repeated its old tricks, Shura struck out with a heavy punch, extinguishing the Poseidon projection's hope of a comeback in one fell swoop. At this point in the battle, there is no suspense left. In fact, when Shura transformed into 3,000 feet, Shura had already won the battle. Black Tiger, ouch! The Heavenly King's sword flashed a ray of cold light and completely shattered the last head of the 18 skull snake. Treat poisonous milk. The three-headed hell dog, which was watching the normal battle, immediately transformed into three dogs. One applauded, one howled, and the other danced. Current exploration degree, 100%. Clear the 19th floor with an SSSS grade rating. Poseidon thought that no matter how bad his projection was, he could survive 10 minutes. Poseidon lost completely. And the treatment that was supposed to restore blood to the Poseidon projection instantly turned into a life-threatening talisman. Why are you so skilled? Remaining time, 4 minutes and 12 seconds. After dying under his own treatment, the Poseidon projection completely dissipated. The 4 daily updates announced at the end of last month have been fulfilled, and the author has something to say about the new update plan. While hitting one blow after another, Yabai triggered the effect of 100 shots with 100 hits, attaching Black Heart skill to the Poseidon projection. The moment the Poseidon projection disappeared, Yabai did not stop at all and pointed his finger at the bone snake boss, which had 7 heads left. Wins infinite distance. Moreover, under Yabai's clever control, these heads were smashed in the order of killing. Get rewards, own basic attributes add 500%, luck add 5, upgrade the professional template level, add a new series, get a second professional template. Then, it quickly joined in the cheers and celebrations. Black Tiger on the side was stunned for a moment and did not react. In the aftermath of his battle with the Poseidon projection just now, he accidentally broke a few more heads. Settlement. Yabai put his palm against the settlement crystal and felt a coolness coming from it. At exactly this time, Yabai ended the effect of 2-level reversal and his body recovered to 1.8 meters. There is currently a second career template, and the transformation reward is, own basic attributes add 100%, adding 1 series. P.S. I wish everyone all the best and good health in 2022, thank you. At least, Poseidon can proudly say, Shura did not kill my projection. At this time, only 5 minutes had passed since the two sides actually fought. It's nothing more than the speed of winning. Die. Boom. Looking at the two bosses that fell one after another, Yabai wanted to say something to the Poseidon projection, you are easier to kill than the bone snake. This is suicide. Cheer for the Masters battle. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjaya Old Thief. Chapter 197. Eternal Tower, 19th floor. After clearing the level with 100% exploration, Yabai naturally received a 4's rating. But there was no server-wide announcement from the Eternal Tower. It's done. Yabai made a fist with his right hand and waved it gently in front of him. That's great, third brother. In this way, the demons in the Abyss Plane do not know that Shura has completed his third job transfer. Yabai's entry into the Abyss Plane this time can give them a big surprise. The benefits don't end there. When and how to distribute rewards is a big question. Of course, these are all things for later. Right now, Yabai needs to focus all his energy on the rewards for his third job transfer. A total of 600% basic attribute bonus, 5 points of luck, increased chances of 2 series, and a career template upgrade. Yabai immediately tried to get the bug. Improve the career template of the Wrath Mage. Upgrade failed, you currently have an SS level career template, please choose again. Card bug failed. Judging from the feedback from the Eternal Tower, if Yabai only had the SSS level career template, he could indeed continue to improve. Hateful. When he thought of this, Yabai wanted to punch Poseidon twice. This unsatisfactory thing, why is the professional template is SS level, and it is causing Yabai's card bug. In Yabai's inner ledger, Poseidon was recorded again and sentenced to death with a suspended death sentence. However, Yabai also knew in his heart that if this matter really had to be settled, Poseidon could not be blamed. If Yabai does not get the second profession Wrathful Sea Mage, then Yebai will still get the second profession when he changes jobs for the third time. The second career is most likely to be SS level, and Yebai can only continue to choose the second career that advances to the SS level career template. Poseidon is just a god who takes the blame. But does this have anything to do with Yebai's desire to punch Poseidon more often? It doesn't matter. Improve the career template of the Mage of the Raging Sea. Advancement completed, obtained Shura Great Mage career template, SSS level. Acquired status Water Affinity, Water Magic Effect add 100%, Consumption minus 50%. Acquired skill Shura Sea, summon the Shura Sea in the exclusive space, currently not under construction, the skill cannot be released. Yebai's eyes lit up. The SSS level template was actually named after his eternal ID? Shura High sounds very powerful. If you want to release Shura Sea, you must first build a Shura Sea and then summon it. Not everyone can be as good at making something out of nothing as Yebai. Yebai kept the corresponding information in his heart. Before setting off to the abyss, you must seize the time and stupefy Shura High Z first. Putting aside the information about Azura Archmage, Yebai now faces a more important choice. Add 2 lines to your career. In the previous boss battle, the Bone Snake proactively evolved to 18 heads, which means there are 18 choices. After excluding the 4 series that Yebai owns, the remaining options are Earth, Ice, Lightning, Charm, Bone, Shadow, Undead, Wood, Gold, Civil Engineering System, Rare Metal System, Manipulation System, Puppet System, Air System. The more heads you have, the more choices you will have. Among these choices, there are a few that are really good. Earth Element is a combination of Earth Element and Wood Element. It can release some dual element skills, which is very powerful. But there is another prerequisite, you must have both Earth Element and Wood Element. Yebai ran away without thinking. Undead sounds very suitable for Yebai's character. After careful study, Yebai discovered that this was to make his various summons immortal, which was of no help to his own life saving. Unless Yebai is willing to refine himself into a skeleton, the kind that is neither dead nor alive. If I turn myself into a skeleton and meet Xiaoao as a dog, will I turn into a skeleton dog? Yebai shook his head and quickly gave up this dangerous idea. Although immortality is valuable, skin is even more expensive. If you are a human being, you can throw away both. Among the 14 choices, Yebai prioritized the shadow element. In order to be a rebellious young man, he must use the shadow system to defeat Master Ju. Only shadow can defeat shadow. As for the remaining choice, Yebai hesitated between manipulation system, air system, and wood system. The air system is one of the mutations of the wind system, with extremely fast movement speed and instantaneous burst damage. The manipulation system can be paired with the shadow system and some puppets and avatars to assist in combat. These 2 series are very rare, and as a trump card, they are definitely not a loss. Wood type. Yebai once tested his elemental affinity, and the wood element ranked in the top 5, as well as the soul element. If the options include soul system and space system, Yebai doesn't need to hesitate at all. The role of the air system can be temporarily replaced by the wind system. As for the control system, Yebai glanced at the 3-headed hell dog and black tiger. You can rely on me, little brother. Dracula can climb trees. In the final battle between truly strong men, you can only rely on yourself. As a basic elemental system, the wood system is indeed not good enough in some aspects. But foundation also means solid. High elemental affinity blessing, as well as equipment such as Power of Nature and Mogu Hat. Yebai's study of the wood element will greatly improve his current combat power. He was about to go to the abyss, so he couldn't miss any opportunity. I choose the shadow type, the wood type. After making the selection, Yebai's body immediately flashed with white light, and a series of prompts popped up in front of his eyes. Level improvement, level 200. The third job transfer was successful. Current occupation, Great Mage of Wrath, Wind, Thunder, Fire, Wood. Second profession, Great Shura Mage, Shadow Water. Poseidon's curse, 1, has been exorcised. Get the blessing of the Shura Sea. Get a new curse Poseidon's curse, 2. Acquire the skill Shadow Sea. After the job transfer was completed, the attribute panel expanded in front of Yebai. Eternal ID, Shura. If you like to play, can I call my apprentice to play with you? Shadow Sea, can be used after creating Shura Sea. Equipment, Power of Nature, add 4, Nightmare Wind, Heavenly King Sword, add 1, etc. Is it fun? Agility, 25,032, add 6,871. At the same time, the existence of a certain old monster was careless, and his shadow was directly ejected. Intelligence, 85,666, add 2,360. HP, 3,278,800/3,278,800. The newly added shadow system is automatically classified into the professional template of the Shura Archmage, and at the same time, the professional skill Shadow Sea is automatically obtained. Master Ju said coldly. In the dormitory. The moment Yebai appeared, with a thought, he turned into a black shadow and rushed into the shadow under his feet. Luck, 17. Talent, Eye of Insight, SSS level. Spirits, 81,753, add 1,740. Master Ju's next words made Yebai immediately leave his shadow and return to the status quo. He stood there honestly and very well behaved. Skills, Shura Sea, Shadow Sea, etc. Level, 200. The third job transfer is undoubtedly a qualitative leap for Yebai's paper strength. Constitution, 23,835, add 6,710. Hiwa looked at the shadow under his feet, then at Shura in the shadow, and spoke hoarsely. At the same time, Yebai's blood volume exceeded 3 million, his magic value was close to 10 million, and his 5-dimensional attributes exceeded 10,000 even without the blessing. Yebai Gong wanted to say fun. Before Yebai could check more information, at 6:10, the time limit for the Eternal Tower was up, and he was bounced directly back to the Blue Star. A shadow is waiting for Yebai's return. MP, 7,257,600/7,257,600. He didn't look rebellious at all, not the tall and handsome young man. The most important intelligence and spiritual attributes are close to 100,000. Of course, Yebai also possesses some basic abilities of the shadow system, such as being able to hide in shadows. Status, Blessing of Shura Sea, Curse of Poseidon, etc. All basic attributes are at 600%, which is equivalent to 7 times the original value. Occupation, Great Mage of Wrath, Wind Fire Thunder Wood, SSS level. Strength, 41,251, add 7,350. Second occupation, Shura Archmage, Shadow Water, SSS level. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjai Old Thief. Chapter 198. Master Ju, look at you, you are joking again. Yebai didn't mean to be timid at all and pretended to be calm. This is not a new series, my hands are itchy. By the way, let's see if we can help Ju improve his living conditions. Huh. Yingju was slightly surprised. You actually succeeded in changing jobs for the third time. In one night, he rose from level 108 to level 199, defeated the Poseidon projection, and completed his third job transfer. It has to be said that Ye Bai's customs clearance efficiency exceeded Yingju's imagination. What kind of bug did you have, kid? Older gingers are more spicy. Yingju concluded that Ye Bai must have a bug to upgrade so quickly. How can we not share this kind of bug issue so that everyone can get stuck together? In front of his own people, Ye Bai had nothing to hide. After briefly talking to Master Ju about Dracula's voluntary help, Ye Bai simplified many unnecessary details and focused on the pleasant ones. No wonder, you reached level 199 in less than 3 hours. After listening to Ye Bai's brief description, Yingju nodded slowly, then shook his head. Not everyone has vampire servants, and not everyone has such terrifying upgrade efficiency as you. This bug is of no use. After talking about changing jobs, Yingju was more curious about another thing. You chose Shadow. Previously, Yingju heard what he said correctly. Ye Bai evolved the bone snakes to 18, so there should be many choices. Why did you choose the Shadow type and the Wood type? Ye Bai nodded, yes, mainly because I admire Master Ju and yearn for. Master Ju directly interrupted Ye Bai and exposed him ruthlessly. You think it's safer to hide in the shadows. There are also some considerations in this regard. After saying that, Ye Bai received a text message on his mobile phone, from Feng Dong. Feng Dong, Brother Bai, the fighting test time is 10:30 in the morning, at the training hall. I'm a little busy beforehand, see you later. It seems that all parties are very interested in the plan to rescue Lan Lao this time. Feng Dong is undoubtedly very powerful among the new generation below level 600, and is firmly in the top 10. Just in time, give me some time to sort out the harvest. Suddenly there were 2 more professions, and Ye Bai needed to make more preparations. Moreover, going to the abyss this time was of great importance and was full of dangers. If you are not careful, even if you are missing an arm or a leg, it will not be good if your skin is bruised. Ju could not follow Ye Bai into the small abyss plane, nor could he watch Xiao Ao from the tower. With only a 9th level war god guard like Yang Shi around him, Ye Bai's sense of security plummeted. The skill books that need to be learned for the wood type, props suitable for combat, and other things have all been distributed to the goblin brother. Because of the existence of power of nature, Ye Bai was already prepared for this. Let's put the wood-related matters aside for now. Ye Bai has many things to be busy with. Gains from job transfer, sorting out the shadow system, opening up the Shura Sea, advancing the power of nature, further repairing the wind of nightmare. After sorting out the priorities, Ye Bai first clicked on the status bar. Time was limited before, so I didn't have time to take a closer look. The original Poseidon's Curse disappeared and was replaced by Shura Sea's Blessing and Poseidon's Curse version 2.0. Blessing of the Shura Sea, all skills released based on the Shura Sea have an effect of add 100%. Poseidon's Curse version 2.0, when creating or strengthening the Shura Sea in an exclusive space, the material consumption is add 100%, and the upper limit of the Shura Sea size is add 100%. Seeing the narrow-minded Poseidon's Curse, Ye Bai couldn't help but sigh. Poseidon, this is so, consider it. Doubling the consumption of materials means that Ye Bai spends 2 cents and can only get back 1 cent of the effect. However, it has increased the upper limit of the size of Shura Sea. It has to be seen that Ye Bai spends more money to do more things, and makes big profits from small losses. Hiss. Ye Bai gritted his teeth and made another note of Poseidon in his heart. I, Shura, have recorded this account. After closing the status bar, Ye Bai spoke again. Master Ju, what skills do I need to learn in the shadow department? As the basic element system, the wood element already has existing schools and systems. Ye Bai now has 6 elements: thunder, fire, wind, water, wood, and shadow. If each series requires Ye Bai to devote energy to polishing and studying, there seems to be nothing wrong with it. However, Ye Bai was about to set off, and what he needed to learn quickly was to plug and play. For a 100-point paper, if you can get 99 points, you will be satisfied. There is no need to be picky and you must get 100 points. Shadow type. Master Ju snorted disdainfully, do you still need to learn this kind of thing? Yingju pretended to be surprised and asked, don't tell me, you don't know the shadow skills collection. Yeah, bye. Damn it, this old guy did it again. Look at the way you are always scratching your head, I don't know who you learned it from. Yabai said angrily. Master Ju, even if I don't get the skill book directly, I can at least give you a list of shadow skills. Wanwu Pavilion, what can't you buy with money? Yingju, you want to buy a skill book? Wait a minute, I will print it for you on the spot. I don't want to stay any longer on this day. Yabai found out that he treated others like sheep to shed their wool. It would be better for Master Ju to treat this powerful seed like a sheep and kill him. No basic respect at all. This most powerful seed is inappropriate. Let's talk about it, don't make fun of Master Ju. Since Yabai has no shadow skills, Yingju will definitely help Yabai get it done before he sets off. As for the cost, Yabai previously helped Ju collect the dark history of 2 nightmares of the strongest. It was equivalent to using up an opportunity for Master Ju to take action. Yabai secretly thought in his heart, nightmare dark history, we still need to collect more. It smells really good. If it doesn't work out, I'll find a chance to meet the most powerful nightmare. I'll ask Nightmare face to face if there's any other dark history. I'll exchange it with Lord Ju for money, and we'll split it 50-50. Yabai is not in a hurry when it comes to making money, and he is not a person who is short of money. Who doesn't have 29,980 God of War merit points in their pocket? Xuemeng didn't. That's okay. After handling the newly added shadow and wood matters, Yabai started to solve the next big trouble. Shurasi. Yabai spoke again. Master Ju, when opening up the Shurasi in an exclusive space, what should we pay attention to and what materials should we use? Opening up the Shurasi, Eye of Insight provides too much information, most of which is useless. Really useful and important information requires time to filter. Of course, the experience of previous generations is also very important to Yabai and can be mutually confirmed. Yingju said angrily, you ask me, who am I going to ask, my apprentice? That's a good feeling, thank you. Yabai didn't give Master Ju any chance to regret, and said urgently. I'll go back to the exclusive space first and find a way to complete the upgrade of Power of Nature. I'm waiting for your good news. After saying that, Yabai immediately disappeared, leaving only a shadow in place. Shadow 9. There was silence for a moment. A white cloud slowly floated down from the 99th floor of the Eternal Tower and landed outside the window. Black Mist spoke hoarsely. How to open up the Shurasi in the Eternal Tower? Before the other party could answer, Yingju spoke again. Prepare 1 copy of the materials, no, 2 copies, 1 copy is probably not enough for this kid. Thank you for your hard work. I owe you this. In the black mist, Yingju's soliloquy could be heard. This means that the other party has a lot of things hidden in his hands. Good. Suddenly, the macho man's voice stopped and was interrupted by a phone ringing. In the deepest office, there were constant sounds of sledgehammers and the passionate shouts of a certain macho man. But at the same time, the Abyss Demon clan has also been honest for more than 30 years. Not all questions will have answers. No fool can survive the 30 years of bloody battle between the two races. Something big might happen on this trip. A small abyssal plane that can only be entered by level 980. After that, the white clouds will float away. Xiaoao is very candid. A big deal to make money? Then I must be fine. The black mist rolled, and Yingju's heart kept swaying. Yingju stayed where he was, feeling a little uneasy in his heart. Uncle Ju, what's going on so early? The teacher himself doesn't know the answer to this question, and neither does he. As he said before when communicating with Lan Lao, there is no omniscient and omnipotent existence in this world. Next to the eternal forest, the Blue Star Wolf Nest headquarters. Yingju shouted to Baiyun, the black mist rolled up and down, and finally decided to ask. The human race had accumulated more than 30 years of power, launched a great war, and purified 3 abyssal planes in one go. It's not that I'm short of money, I just want to make more contributions. Wait a minute, I'll be right back. The more you smash, the more exciting it becomes, and the more you smash, the more addictive it becomes. Moreover, his condition is not very good. After the level drops, it will be 100 or 1,000 times more difficult to improve. Yingju felt that such a sacrifice would be a bit too much. Cut yourself 19 times and follow Ye Bai in. Etc. A voice that could give Shura nightmares came from the white clouds. 80. 80. Will this kid die this time? I need to change someone else. Who is suitable? This trap tailor-made for Lan Tiankai and Shura is by no means as simple as it seems on the surface. After answering, the white clouds floated away leisurely. Have no idea. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjai Old Thief. Chapter 199. Eternal Tower, Exclusive Space. Ye Bai felt like he was back at home. Seeing Shura appear, everyone gathered around, including the heads of various departments. Are you all here? Ye Bai nodded to everyone and said with a smile. I'm in a good mood today. Let the vampires work overtime and enjoy the blessings. Dracula was not surprised when this demonic language came out of Shura's mouth, and he was even used to it. Dracula bowed slightly and saluted. This is our great honor and we thank you for this gift. Ye Bai waved his hand impatiently, stop talking nonsense and get to work. As you wish. After sending Dracula away, Ye Bai met with the others one by one and gave everyone some instructions. He might be away for a few more days this time, and he had to arrange his work in advance to avoid any trouble. The end point of the power system of the Eternal Tower is to become a god, and the kingdom of God is one of the conditions for becoming a god. The importance of exclusive space to Ye Bai is self-evident. Master Fool was the last to meet Ye Bai. Before Ye Bai could speak, the Fool took the lead and said in surprise. You have become stronger, 5 times, no, more than 10 times. Ye Bai asked, is it weird? The Fool Master shook his head. No, I just didn't expect that he could allow you to grow at such a speed. Even if Master Fool didn't say it, Ye Bai could understand it. Carefree. First, I don't like the Riddler. Hearing the implication of the other party's words, Ye Bai said seriously. Second, don't try to drive a wedge between me and anyone. Feeling the seriousness in Ye Bai's words, Master Fool laughed self-deprecatingly. I'm talking too much, haha, I'm just a fool, aren't I? It's hard to disagree. Ye Bai nodded and said, you are a smart man, please give me a price. A small hammer appeared in the hand of Master Fool, rolling it back and forth on his fingertips, and said casually. You became more than 10 times stronger overnight. You should have completed your 3rd job transfer, but I didn't hear the server-wide announcement in the tower. By the way, before today, I never believed that anyone could pass SSSS level, but you can actually do it. The rotating small hammer suddenly stopped and was held tightly in the palm of his hand. Master Fool's tone suddenly changed, his whole body was like an unsheathed sword, and he said urgently. In other words, you have a very important thing to do, and you need to improve your strength as much as possible. I didn't hear a server-wide announcement, which means you found a way to hide or delay the announcement. If you didn't know the information that Shura had completed his third job change, I don't know how many monsters would suffer a big loss. You have always been meticulous in your work, and I am from the Demon Clan. Since you are willing to see me, you know the risk of being discovered or even leaked. Even so, if you still do it, there is only one possibility left. The mysterious forging master from the Demon Clan said word by word. You need my help, even at the risk of leaking the news. After listening to everything, Yabai couldn't help but applaud. Wonderful, wonderful. Instead of acting in a detective drama and becoming a blacksmith, you are really underestimating your talent. Within a minute of meeting, the other party saw through Yabai's trump card. He had known for a long time that the demon forging master that his second brother had invited was definitely not a kind person. This demon forging master met Xiaoao once before coming to Yabai's exclusive space. In other words, she can survive from two of the strongest human beings. This is no longer an ordinary demon clan. Yabai's deal with the other party is tantamount to seeking skin from a tiger. The problem is that Yabai has no choice. Even without Master Ju reminding him, Yabai could realize it. This rescue mission is definitely not as simple as it seems. Just one thing. The Eye of Insight cannot give an accurate survival rate. The probability of Yabai returning from the abyss with full health is less than 50%. Even if the conditions are relaxed and some are given away, and the qualification is added, Lao Lan succeeds in his second awakening and returns alive, the probability is less than 15%. What unknown dangers are waiting for Yabai? Eye of Insight is too far away to give accurate tips. Yabai must really get close, or even walk into the trap, to have a chance to see the truth. The problem lies here. Sometimes, the moment you see the truth clearly may also be the moment death comes. Therefore, even though he knew that the demon forging master was not a good person, Yabai still came. In order to increase his strength as much as possible, he came to make a deal with the demon forging master. Lady first. Yabai made a gesture of invitation. Tell me your conditions first. I like what you just said. The fool master suddenly said something incomprehensible, then returned to the topic and set out his own conditions. I want freedom of movement. When Mobek and the others go out on an adventure, I want to go with them. Yabai added, you can't hurt anyone, either by actions or intentions. No problem. The fool master continues to make conditions. Also, after the purified fourth abyss plane merges with your exclusive space, I am going to explore the fourth abyssal plane, of course, with a large army. Yabai frowned. This matter was close to his bottom line. But it doesn't matter, Yabai can flexibly adjust his bottom line. Not until I get back. At the same time, you must come with me to explore the fourth abyss plane. Master Fool nodded in agreement. No problem. The Fool Master said seriously. One last thing, I ask you to swear in Xiaoao's witness that all the above conditions will be fulfilled. You will abide by all the vows you have made in the past 7 days. Make a deal. Yabai is very confident in his integrity. He has always been consistent in his words and his deeds must bear fruit. For things like oaths, as long as you search carefully, you can always find bugs. Take the second item of the transaction between the two, there is an obvious bug. As long as Yabai does not step into the fourth abyss plane, Master Fool will not be able to go to the fourth abyss plane. Before becoming the god of war, Yabai was not prepared to go to such dangerous places. Master Fool stretched out his hand, and the two briefly shook it and reached a verbal agreement. What do you need me to do? The Fool Master knows this very well. Shura briefly bargained with the conditions he proposed and immediately agreed. It means that what Shura asks him to do is of great significance, and he doesn't have much room to refuse. Yabai was already prepared. First of all, I have a staff that needs to be inlaid with 4 seeds to upgrade. It should be better with your help. Secondly, I want a sword. Before Xuemeng could strike with his sword. Why don't you believe me? The Fool Master remembered an anecdote. The whole abyss knows that Xuemeng can't use a sword at all. Are you really his friend? I've already told you that while holding the Heavenly King's sword, you can no longer hold the sword. After that day, no monster in the abyss wielded a sword. Xuemeng snatched a sword from a 9th-level demon war god. As she spoke, she casually took out an S-level sword and threw it to Ye Bai. What a domineering sword! Do you know what will happen when Xuemeng gets the sword? Ye Bai likes it? The most powerful man descended without trace, glanced at Xuemeng, and slashed out a sword. Fool Master! The Fool Master laughed out loud again. So, in a battle, the Heavenly King's sword has the potential to be an SSS level equipment, but it also has a bad temper. Since Xuemeng entered the realm of the God of War, he has been with the sledgehammer all day long. His hands are extremely itchy and he wants to use the sword like crazy. Xuemeng, who was out of his mind, staged a heartbreaking scene. The unlucky demon war god, even his body and sword were turned into powder, and he could not die anymore. The Fool Master sneered. Etc. Puff. As its owner, you don't even know this? I really don't understand why Shura can say such shameless things with confidence. Seize the sword with bare hands. You try. I also told you that this sword was really made for my friend. After putting the S-level broken sword into his storage space, Ye Bai continued. There is no even the most basic trust between humans and demons. Xuemeng. As soon as the sword was in hand, Ye Bai's sword energy immediately shot out from his waist, cutting off the S-level sword from it. Even the most despicable and shameless second demon god may not be able to reach the level of Shura. However, he has a second father. The idiot master said angrily, what's the name of your friend? Master Fool interrupted Ye Bai, frowned and said. Online games, only I can see hidden information. Author, Minjai Old Thief. Chapter 200. After listening to the story of Master Fool, Ye Bai rubbed his chin with his palm and thought to himself. So, asking Xuemeng to hold the sword is equivalent to summoning the second brother. There seems to be nothing wrong with it. The Fool Master poured a basin of cold water on him. I don't know what you are thinking, but I advise you not to do this. Ye Bai waved his hand and brought the topic back on track. If the sword doesn't work, how about changing your weapon to Fang Tian's painted halberd? Master Fool looked confused. What is that? The tip of the gun, with sharp blades on both sides. I will draw a simple design for you. With the eye of insight around, Ye Bai quickly drew a design draft for Fang Tian's painted halberd that was SS level and could be used at level 989. After entering the professional field, Master Fool's state was completely different. After careful evaluation, you can do it if you can, but what's the point? The sledgehammer Xuemeng was using now, although Xuemeng himself despised it, was very good at killing it. Help Xuemeng change a piece of equipment, so that Xuemeng can use it to perfection in a short period of time. It's just another sledgehammer. Look carefully. Ye Bai pointed to a corner of the design drawing and introduced. There is an energy tank here. Through fighting, Fang Tian Huaji can absorb the blood of his enemies and accumulate energy. When the energy is full, countless bloody lights will burst out. Master Fool's eyes lit up. The bloody look looks like a heavy sword. With a smile on her lips, she said with satisfaction. Okay, in this case, you and Xuemeng will definitely be chased and chopped by Wu Heng. I made this weapon. Ye Bai automatically ignored the first half of the other party's sentence. What a joke, will my second brother chop me down? I am a dignified Shura, an SSS level talent holder, the most powerful seed of the human race, Xuemeng's best friend, my second brother's biggest fan, designated by Master Ju for personal protection, and Xiaoyao's designated successor. Second brother will kill me. Meeting. That's okay. Since the other party nodded, Ye Bai took advantage of the situation and asked, how long will it take? Building a piece of SS level equipment is no easy task. Ye Bai asked Master Fool to help, thinking that after the equipment was completed, the third brother would forward it to Shui Meng. By that time, the abyssal plane was probably in chaos. Shui Meng brought new weapons to kill everyone, and magic soldiers descended from the sky to save him. What a perfect script! The Fool Master raised 3 fingers. Ye Bai frowned slightly. 3 days, or 3 weeks. If it was 3 months, Ye Bai would turn around and leave. The daylilies are cold. If Shui Meng saves himself again 3 months later, just bring a body bag and collect the body for yourself. 3 minutes. Master Fool finally found an opportunity to ridicule Ye Bai, so he naturally turned on all firepower without mercy. Do you have any misunderstanding about the blacksmith master? I usually build SSS level equipment. I occasionally build an SS level equipment. Can it be faster than your Force rating? Even things like Versailles are really rolled up. For the sake of his own life, Ye Bai endured it. What materials do you need? Here's the list. A list of materials was delivered to Ye Bai. Ye Bai's face changed, and his back teeth squeaked. The list above is enough to create 2 SS level weapons. Is the wool piled on his head? Ye Bai felt like he was a sheep wherever he went today. He is a sheep in front of Master Ju, a sheep in front of Master Fool, and a dog in front of Xiaoyao. Is there something wrong? The Fool Master chuckled, this is not a craftsmanship, there is always a scrap rate. It takes 3 minutes to build a piece of SS level equipment, and now it increases the scrap rate. Ye Bai accepted the list angrily and pinched his nose to admit it. Anyway, Master Fool is in his exclusive space, the monk can't escape, and neither can the temple. No matter how much you eat, you will have to pay back your capital with interest later. Ye Bai lent the extra materials to the other party at a low interest rate of 6% per day and recorded them in his account. I'll deliver the materials in a moment, please wait. After the 2 things were settled, Ye Bai went to the Wanwu Pavilion and found the Goblin Brother. Get a copy of the materials on the list, including skill books for wood and water professions, and calculate the money together. The Goblin Brother quickly reported a number, a total of 6,500 God of War meritorious deeds. His. Ye Bai reluctantly swiped the card, and the remaining balance was only 23,480 God of War merits. After getting the things, Ye Bai studied the skill books one by one and browsed the corresponding props and scrolls one by one. Due to the existence of Magu's hat, wood-type healing also carries extra damage. Commonly known as poisonous milk. Therefore, the water type mainly heals and reduces damage, and the wood type mainly shields, traps and kills enemies. Ye Bai didn't learn any of the wood healing skills. The twin entry of Power of Nature has a certain probability of randomly releasing wood spells when Ye Bai releases thunder spells. In the past, Ye Bai did not have a wood career, so he naturally did not need to consider the impact of this entry. It's different now. With the Magu hat, if Ye Bai takes a sip of poisonous milk during battle, he will even be milked to death. That's a big joke. For the sake of your own safety, wood-type treatment cannot be learned for the time being. Among the 2 series of skills, there are several core skills. For example, Divert Disaster to the east can redirect the enemy's next damage. Infinite Freeze freezes the dying being, consuming a large amount of magic points every second. The opponent's blood volume is maintained at 1 drop of blood. The longer it is maintained, the more magic points are consumed. Natural Shield, automatically obtain a shield every time you cast a spell. The shield value is equal to 25% of the magic value consumed. Most of these skills are used by Ye Bai to save his life, run away, and make up for his own shortcomings. Ye Bai has long been in need of damage in real battles. Even if the enemy stacks up 3 types of immunity, wind, fire, and thunder, Ye Bai still has a way to deal with it. After learning the skills, Ye Bai worked non-stop, taking the materials back to his own exclusive space and handing them over to the Fool Forger. 3 minutes later, a brand new Fang Tian painted halberd came out. All the data echoes the design draft provided by Eye of Insight, and is even much higher in some aspects. It has to be said that although Master Fool's IQ is not high, his professionalism is absolutely top-notch. Equipping this weapon requires level 989 and is tailor-made for Xue Meng. This is the first time Ye Bai has seen fully equipped SS-level equipment. Looking at Fang Tian's painted halberd standing on the spot, the corner of his mouth twitched slightly. The weight of Fang Tian's painted halberd is so terrifying that even if Ye Bai's strength attribute exceeds 10,000, he can't lift it at all. How do you take this thing out? Can't be lifted, can't fit into storage space, can't be carried. At this moment, Master Fool walked over casually, lifted up Fang Tian's painted halberd with a hook of his little finger, rotated it once on his fingertips, and then put it back down. Some contempt is silent. Ye Bai. In desperation, Ye Bai had to go to the trading secret realm again and borrowed a space prop that could be used to carry Fang Tian's painted halberd. Taking Shang Tian Huaji with him, Ye Bai left the exclusive space and returned to Blue Star. Master Zhu, I'm back again. Putting the long box on the ground, Ye Bai said excitedly. Look what gift I prepared for Brother Meng. There is no intention to show off, just a little bit of affection for the younger generation. Glancing at Fang Tian Huaji, Master Zhu's voice seemed a little unnatural in the shadow. It's really good. A weapon that can only be used at level 989, well, it's so suitable for Xue Meng now. If he sees it, he should be able to cry with joy.